Well, I've literally come up the side of a mountain, basically, just from me. Down in the valley there is the road, so you will hear a bit of traffic. Doesn't matter how much you climb up out of a valley, you can still hear the road below, funnily enough, and there's no real top wind to blow the sound away. Oh, I'm out of breath. I want to talk to you about the ZELTER. This thing is great, you know, and set it up. We'll have a look at some of the specs. Probably not the only review you can actually see on this, you know. I'd like to do a full overnight camp in it and do that, see how we get on with it. So there's going to be a couple of reviews. I've got full confidence in this personal shelter. You know, this is it all in that bag. You know, the weight, you know, 1 point something kilos. It's not a heavy shelter. It comes in this dry proof sack. You know, it's easy to put in, easy to put away, which makes it ideal for mountain climbing and in a lot of hiking, mountain work. Really, it's a non-fuss one-man shelter, single skinned, 10,000 hydrostatic head on it. It's a lovely colour, green. You know, it's available at Haynes at the moment, and it generated a hell of a lot of interest up here. In fact, I was down at the Knoll Park in South Wales and I set this tent up, and I had crowds around me. They were fascinated by it, and say hi to all the people that I'd met down there, and it was nice to meet a few friends and a few people that recognised me from my videos. So if they are watching this, it was good to meet you all. And so yeah, we'll have a look at the ZELTER shelter. It's kind of a, you know, the guy who designed it I'm quite friendly with, and he's a nice chap. He'll always answer the questions. I'll leave the links to his websites. It's just something different and something that I like, and you know, I think anyone who knows me knows that I do like hammock camping, and to find an alternative to that for the hiking, sometimes hammocking just ain't practical. Pretty well much on this mountain here, there's not one tree, so this shelter, you know, will be in my pack, and we'll have a look at it. I'm going to get it set up and I'm going to show you how easy it is to set up. I'll roll in a little bit of a clip thing now of me just doing an intro video, and we'll get on to the setup. I'll try and get it set up for you. So this is the kind of bite valve that you've got. You know, anyone who's into kind of the marine environment will know exactly what one of these tubes are. You know, unscrew it, and of course now it's ready to go. Some real good deep breaths. You know, I don't know in the future whether they'll design a small pump for this. I don't think you really need it. I think that's an over-engineering thing. You don't really need it. It's quite easy to blow up. So what I do is I just put my thumb over it. I just don't want to lose any air. I don't think it does come out at a rate of knots anyway. And straight away the shelter now, I can see it's all taking shape. It's no more than blowing up a row mat really. Instantly you can see now the shelter is pretty well much there. A few more breaths and the shelter will be up. So it's 3 major tubes on this shelter, 1, 2, and then a whole length down the back, which means there's no poles involved. Okay, that's pretty well much it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to add that little bit more now, just to firm up the long length, the structure of the shelter, and that's about it. It's that easy. And I'm quite happy with that. It's quite rigid now. Now, of course, in extreme weather with the wind hitting this, there is the chance that the shelter can bend. We've not really tested it in high winds, but because of the low profile and the design of this shelter, I was on the edge of a cliff a few days ago and I set it up, and I thought that the wind would have been buckling this. It never. So it's worth going to be testing in a, you know, in a windy kind of rainy environment to see what this is like. I'm sure it will load up. I did leave it out in the garden when it was absolutely chucking it down with rain, and it never had no water in it, which I always do in my tents anyway. So do up the bite valve. It does help if you just stick your thumb on it. You're not losing air in anything out in the field to save calories, to save energy. It's to save energy. So I'm going to get the shelter put in place, put a few pegs in so I don't want it to blow away. It is super lightweight. You've got to be loving this. Whenever I go to peg any tent out, this is why I do a lot of hammock camping, I always find a patch that's full of stones. I always do. So I'm getting some really nice lines on the tent now, and it's opening up a little bit. What I don't want is I don't want it collapsing and folding in on me when I'm in it. So I peg it out. I'm not light with it, I'm quite heavy when I do this. I want it as good as I can get it. And of course what I did, I added an additional line onto this to the front draw cord. This didn't come with it, but I recommend that you put a loop off this, because that can either be attached to a tree above your head just to give this more structure, or if you are on a real high windy mountain, this one extra line will make a big difference, I think, to the stability of the back of the tent by pulling it forward. So you've got it pegged each side, you know, like you would if you were using walking sticks on a shelter. And I peg that out there. I've put plenty of rope on so I can actually peg it right out the way. It's not in the door entrance, but I'd as soon as that be on there, me personally. There. Now, that is the shelter. So let me do that right up. Now, bearing in mind, if you don't want to carry it in your bag, you can wear it, and I will show that later on in a video. I've got to be careful because I've got a camping. This is the shelter. Single skinned. The door can be pushed back. chucked back, whatever you fancy. Look at the room and the creative space that you've got in there. You can open that slightly if you think you're going to get a lot of condensation. Don't think the tent will condensate a lot. I have stayed in it for quite some time. I was expecting it to be wet. It wasn't wet. And there we are. I am 6 foot. And I know somebody 6'2" went into this shelter no problems at all. So give you an idea of the length of the shelter. No problems. Tabs, two-way zipping on it. So you can even open it up a little bit, keeping your bottom bit sealed of the door. I'll show you that now. Zips everywhere. 2 seconds. So you got two-way zips here, up, down, whatever you fancy. One across the bottom there. No problems. Stop them creepy crawlies getting in at you if you're not into creepy crawlies. And obviously that can be also pegged down to give you a complete watertight shelter. You can crack this open, give you some airflow into the tent, and of course 2 ways, so it can be done either inside the tent, outside the tent. So what I'm gonna do is kind of get in there with you. Hold on a minute, I'm putting you down. Woo! It's a rough ride. There we are. Now, let's have a look at space and room in here. There. So, plenty of room. You can see the beam. You can lay down in it. It's not just me. Zips. All sealed. This zip opens up, giving you your tarp, emergency tarp, and you have got hooks on there. You've also got a hanging point inside the tent, which I like for a small light, an emergency lamp. You're not sat in the dark. And like I say, it's completely wearable, this shelter. I'm going to lay down in it. These are the beams, the air beams if you like. A very unique design this shelter is. Let me get in it. There I am now in the shelter. I'm laying out in the shelter. I really shouldn't have worn my big boots. I wouldn't normally. And I am doing the shelter up. I'm trying. Right, I'll be back with you. I'm going to zip the shelter up. So that's me in the shelter. It's nice. It's instantly warm. I can't believe how warm it suddenly gets in here. It's nice. You know, kind of the bike pit. This can be deflated, turned into a poncho, so you walk off with it like as a poncho on, so you never have to get your body wet. Plenty of room in there. I've got these ridiculously great big hiking boots on, which I should have taken off. I don't normally wear my boots in my tent, but in an emergency, that would be the last thing you worry about, taking your boots off. Ah, if only I had my sleeping bag, I could stay in here the night. You can see the heights there. No problems. I should have, like I say, should have taken my boots off really. But yeah, in. Comfortable, nice. You can see the beam structure, everything happening. Such a simple design, I love it. Wow, it's such a simple design. I just love it. I could go sleep here actually. This could be one of them review videos. That's 4 hours long where I just go sleep. I didn't sleep very good last night. I just love this shower. I just love this shower. This shelter to me represents kind of the modern warfare of showers, to be honest with you. Yeah, I've kind of got this. The hood part could be my window, but this is great. I can hear big cars and big machinery going up the road, and I'm just laid here doing nothing. Let the world go by. But yeah, I like it. And I'll tell you what, there's no wind. I thought I'd get wind in here, to be honest with you. I thought there would be a breeze, and there is a breeze today. And instantly this shelter took that wind right out. That's what makes it kind of an emergency shelter too. I am way out the wind, and I'm loving that. yeah, should we do a camping video instead? If we can, I promised Leo review video. And like I say, what a great design, great concept. I've always said that these poncho, this poncho design, the wearable shelters, is the way forward, I think, for hiking, camping, wild camping, and especially stealth camping, because you can really sizen your backpack down a lot smaller than what you normally would. You don't have to take a big camping bag in. You could kind of wear this, on a drizzly day or something and try and set up camp. There's plenty of areas that need stealth camping in the UK. So yeah, I'm going to go back out and we'll show you the length of it and outside. So that is it. This is the ZELTER shelter set up in its glory, and quick review on it. It's not an full in-depth review. I'm going to put it up to a tarp and wear it in all types of stuff. But to do, like I said, to do all that would be a 2-hour long video. So we'll do a few videos on this. If you want to see me use this on a wild camp, put your thumbs up and put wild camp, somewhere in your comment, and I'm sure we can do a solo wild camp in it, maybe in rough weather. Probably, I think the weekend is looking kind of wet, windy, and a chilly one, so probably a good perfect opportunity. We've got the fool's spring at the moment, the sunshine, and I think it's going to lure everyone into a false sense of security, because it was only a couple of weeks ago I was up doing work in the snow, and now we've got this sunshine and t-shirts and ice creams and everything else. But the temperature this week is still very low and plummeting, and the wind is going to be changing, and the rain is on its way. So if you want to see this used in a wild camp, just thumbs up. Wild camp. I've got some exciting new products to use and test anyway. Got a couple lights and a couple of great saws. I started doing the videos for my saws, but I ended up doing loads of work with them and not filming the video, and halfway through one of the parts I realised that I didn't even press record on the camera. So I must be getting a bit old, I think. But yeah, wow. Whoa. That wind is chilly. I'm going to jump in the shower in a minute, have a warm up, I think, before I head back down off this mountain. So yeah, I'll leave the link for this shelter. Don't forget to leave a comment while camping, and I'll even put in some tips and tricks for you on my wild camping video. I am teaching in August in the Avon Forest, Willow Springs campsite. So if any guys are interested in a basic bushcraft and survival course, which is pretty well much going to be free for anyone who wants to attend, you'll have to check out Willow Springs. I will leave some more details on that course. It's going to be nothing amazing, just basic bushcraft, basic fire lighting, things like that. It was a course that I wrote a long time ago against all odds, and I've slimmed that down just to take sections of that course so any general the public can have a better knowledge of bushcraft and survival and outdoor awareness, really. So yeah, if you are interested in that course as well, kind of get hold of me, email me on that my email that's on the channel there about details of that. But it will be a free course, kind of a couple of 3-hour slots. I'm hoping to do 2 slots. It'll be the Sunday and the Monday of the August bank holiday. So don't forget to check that out if if you're new into bushcraft or you're new into survival, or you want to learn a bit more about the outdoors. It's probably a good course for you to come up on. I know some of you may have to travel, but there will be limited spots to that, because obviously it is free. It's completely free. Anybody can attend at any age, and male, female, it doesn't really matter. Children are welcome to come as well, as long as they are accompanied by an adult. It'll be a fun little weekend, really. And it's nice to be able to share a little bit of knowledge with a few people and share ideas and thoughts. But I will be running, like I say, probably 2 courses, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, one at 10 and one at 2, 4-hour slots. So the Sunday and the Monday of the August bank holiday weekend. here up in the Avon Forest. So I'll leave more of that, and I'll talk to you more about that on a wild camping video. That's if we get enough thumbs up and a wild camping thing. But don't forget to check out ZELTER shelter. This is probably, and you know, and on my art, this is probably the best shelter I've actually used for a very, very long time. I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. Brilliant. This really does answer my needs. So guys, with that in mind, I'll speak to you all on the next one.